Vegetarian tortilla soup is an all-veggie version of the classic tortilla soup that is simply delicious. It's light, it's fresh-taking, and it's cheap to make as it uses black beans, which are a cheap protein staple of mine, I always keep in my pantry, and canned tomatoes, just two of my favorites. I'll also be showing you how to make tortilla corn chips to add some texture and crunch to your soup. Baking your own tortilla chips at home is a simple way of getting the same delicious flavor without the extra saturated fat and salt of commercial chips. Plus, you can use the tortillas for other things like making quesadillas, burritos, you name it. You can do more than one thing with it. Chips you can just eat. That's not so bad. Anyway, let's get going and make this tortilla soup. Right, we're going to you can put it in whichever way you want. This is how to make tortilla chips. They're pretty easy. You should never really buy things like this. These are very easy to make at home. So we're going to take these are wheat tortillas, but you can use corn tortillas if you want to go gluten-free. So it's real simple. You just literally cut them into little strips. If you want to, you can cut them in half. Maybe it's not such a bad idea that way. And these, if you keep them in an airtight tin, once we've done them, you'll be able to use them for other things. And basically, all I'm going to do is put these guys on here. The parchment paper helps to keep everything clean. I'm going to I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil. Now, this is a useful thing. A cap is about a tablespoon, so it's kind of a good way to do it if you don't want to get the measuring tools out. As we do with so many things when we do these baked things, it's just to give it a little bit of color and flavor. You can actually, if you wanted to, you could put, you could dust spices onto these as well. But since we're going to be eating this in a tortilla soup, we don't really need it. Okay, so I'm just going to put these in the oven. Right, just going to heat the oil up. I'm going to put in, yes, it's good. And the sliced garlic. When you're adding, this is going to flavour the oil, and sometimes I think it's better what the garlic does when you cook it this way is it gives it'll give the soup a nutty garlic taste, as opposed to sort of a sharp, hard one that it would be if it was cut smaller or raw. Okay, so it's just starting to go around the edges now. So I'm just going to put this in. This is like a medium onion, it's just chopped. Now we're going to cook this down, put a bit of salt on that. Just keep cooking it down until it starts to get transparent, the onion that is. Don't really want it to get caramelized, it just needs to be turn the heat down a little bit more and just partially cover it. Partially covering creates steam, which just helps them soften. Now while this is cooking, I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about what we have lined up here. These are the spices that we're going to use. We have ground cumin, cayenne. Now this you can use to taste. We've got half a teaspoon here, so this soup does have a little bit of a kick to it. And ground coriander. This is tomato paste, which we're going to use in a second to flavour the onions. In fact, this is something that my mother used to teach me to do at home, because you put that in, you fry it until it just almost burns, and then you put in the liquids. And that gives everything a really rich, brown taste. Okay. See, these are going down quite quickly now. This whole thing with the onions takes about 5 to 7 minutes. And it's important to take the time, because when you're making soups, this is your flavour base. Especially one that's as simple as this, because literally it's got 3 ingredients and some garnishes. Okay. So it gets really exposed everywhere to the hot oil. You can start to smell it. It has kind of a little, almost a sweet caramel smell, and it starts to get very orange. Once it starts to do that, you can start putting the spices in. Yeah, and it's just starting to stick a little bit to the bottom. And that's really what you want. You want it to stick but not brown. Because as it sticks, it just gets caramelized and sweet. Okay, so I'm going to start with the cumin. Coriander. Oops. This is the same. You want them to just have some exposure to the heat, and now the cayenne. And like I said, you can put less cayenne if really spicy food isn't your thing. Now see how it's just starting to go a bit dark there? That's the spices. So now we're going to put in, there we go. Now by cooking the spices and the tomato concentrate like that, you've got a really delicious and simple flavor base for this very easy soup. Now I'm just going to let that cook down until everything starts to get kind of orangey, like you can see these around the edges. You can get some more. And as usual, I'm going to put it in with the tomato, red tomato. You see now how it's kind of changed colour? I'm just going to bring this to the boil and let it cook. Not long. About 10 minutes, and we're going to add the beans. And that's almost it. Can you see the gorgeous colour of the soup now? You know, this is from how we cooked all those things at the beginning. It's got that kind of orangey, deep orangey red sort of sheen at the top. It's almost the same colour as the pan, actually. Right, so I'm just going to turn that up, bring it to the boil. Once it does that, we're going to add the beans, cook it for about 10 minutes, and that actually is it. This is about 2 cups of baby spinach. Just going to stir it in until it wilts. I love baby salad spinach to add to soups, and then we're going to stir in the avocado. Yeah.